Welcome to the installation guide for the Arnott Air Helper Kit, including the console, bracket, and controller for the Citroën Jumper, Fiat Ducato, and the Peugeot Boxer, X250 or X290 with front-wheel drive. This video will walk you through the steps to ensure a smooth and safe installation process for your vehicle's suspension system. Let's get started. Before starting, ensure you have the necessary safety measures in place which can be found in the vehicle owner's manual. Lift and immobilize the vehicle properly and isolate any stored energy to prevent injuries or damage. All Arnott LCV kits are approved for road legal use by German law. After installation is complete, an official test center must prove that all requirements and installation match the vehicle application and instructions. You can download the TUV certificate for this kit on arnottmanuals.com. With the Section 19/3 regulation, you will receive an approval document specific to your vehicle from the test center. Remove the original bump stop by releasing it with a hook tool and twisting it out of the frame. Clean the area thoroughly, removing all dirt and dust from the location where the bump stop was mounted. Then install the upper bracket with the cutout facing toward the center of the rear axle. Secure it using the TX6 nut and tighten to a maximum torque of 35 Newton meters. Ensure the area between the U-bolts is clean before proceeding. Position the pre-assembled air spring between the U-bolts, ensuring the air fitting is not damaged. Then, hook the lower bracket onto the plate resting on top of the leaf spring, making sure it fits securely between the U-bolts. Now, align the two bolts on the upper plate of the air spring with the holes in the upper bracket. Connect the air line to the fitting, black for the left side and yellow for the right. Using the provided inflation valve, inflate the air spring manually to a maximum of 2 bars. Verify that the air spring is properly seated on the original leaf spring and that the upper bolts are correctly aligned with the holes in the upper bracket. Secure the lower bracket by tightening the two M8 screws to a maximum torque of 35 Newton meters. Then, fasten the air spring to the upper bracket by tightening the headless bolts to a maximum torque of 13 Newton meters. Finally, route the air line to the console box. Release the two screws holding the fuel tank straps. Make sure not to turn it more than 4 times. Place the adapter bracket between the bolt head and strap. Make sure the straps are correctly positioned in the cutout areas of the bracket. Loosen the two screws securing the fuel tank straps, but do not turn them more than 4 full rotations. Insert the adapter bracket between the bolt head and the strap, ensuring the straps are correctly seated in the cutout sections of the bracket. Mount the cage bracket to the console using the pre-drilled holes. Ensure the bracket fits snugly around the console enclosure. Position the console on the right side of the adapter bracket, with the connection ports facing the left side of the vehicle. Secure the assembly by tightening the 4 M8 flange nuts to a maximum torque of 25 Newton meters. Carefully route the OE tubing around the console, ensuring it is not stretched, kinked, or exposed to abrasion. Connect the air tubes and the power supply cable. Then, route the power supply cable from the connected box to the interior of the OE battery compartment. Connect the black ground wire to the negative terminal of the battery. Next, connect the power supply cable from the fuse holder to the positive terminal. Once both power cables are securely attached to the battery terminals, insert the provided fuse. Power up the console with the included power supply cable. Make sure it is fully seated and cannot be pulled out without pressing the retaining clip. Also, power on the controller with the included 12V power cable or USB-A to USB-C cable. Now, the welcome screen should appear, followed by the language selector. Select the required language. A screen will appear indicating that the controller is searching for the console. If the console is not found within 1 minute, move the controller closer. Once the console is detected, an identification prompt will appear on the display. The identification procedure begins by automatically turning the compressor on and off several times. This helps verify that the console you are pairing with is the correct unit. When you hear the console respond, you can confirm the pairing on the controller. The console and controller are now successfully paired. Thank you for following our installation guide for the Arnott Air Helper Kit, including the console, bracket, and controller. Proper installation ensures the longevity and performance of the vehicle's suspension system. Keep up the great work.